Elizabeth. Welcome back to my channel. As the title of this video may suggest, I am doing a review, swatches, and a tutorial on the pieces I managed to procure from the MAC Alluring Aquatic collection. I have my fishy themed dress on, so let's go ahead and get started. I am ready to be a mermaid. So I ordered my pieces online on the 15th. They come in this black box with a beautiful, I just love the black tissue paper. I know nobody really cares. That's what it looks like though if you've never ordered it from MAC online. I have never had a bad experience. It arrived a day earlier than it was supposed to, almost a day and a half. So I know other people have had some problems with the MAC shipping. I have never had a problem with MAC, any kind of problem with their customer service or shipping whatsoever. So the pieces I managed to get were the Extra Dimension eyeshadow and a lipstick. I wanted everything from the collection originally, but that wasn't really feasible. So I had narrowed it down to a lipstick, an eyeshadow, and a blush. I got cart-jacked when I went to purchase the blush, so I don't have that. And I had my third runner-up for a color of lipstick. This is my first experience ever buying from a MAC collection ever. I wanted this packaging, I wanted some of the colors, so I'm really happy with what I got, even though they weren't necessarily my first picks. It started with the eyeshadow that I purchased. This was the color I originally wanted, and I got the shade Sea Worship. This is an Extra Dimension eyeshadow, so it's a limited edition formula, limited edition color. The packaging, as I'm sure you all know, is fantastic. Even the outer packaging it comes in is a beautiful metallic aqua with raised 3D water droplets. I really kind of want to just keep the paper packaging it comes in, but I'm going to try and restrain myself. The eyeshadows are $19.50, which is a little steep, but you are paying for the packaging and limited edition formula and shades, so I was not happy to pay that much, but I was thrilled to get it. These are a mini, but I checked against my regular refill pans, and those are marked as 1.5 grams, and this is marked as 1.3 grams, so it's not that big a difference. The packaging that the actual products come in is again this beautiful kind of aqua teal with the raised 3D water droplets. If you can see, it is gorgeous. It was a slightly different shade than what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was more blue, judging by the internet, but it's actually a bit more green, but I can live with it. It's really pretty. So this is what it looks like. This is a beautiful shade. It's kind of like a tarnished olive green is how they describe it, with very strong gold tones. It comes with the MAC symbol and logo for the Extra Dimensions on the upper half and kind of a wave on the bottom half. This shade is absolutely beautiful. It's very pigmented, very shiny, kind of a golden green, which with my eye color I really, really like. One layer, as you can tell, very pigmented. Beautiful reflective powers. Absolutely gorgeous for this time of year. I adore this shade, and I didn't have anything at all like it in my collection. And I think it pairs beautifully with a bunch of colors. You can wear it several different ways. Just as a suggestion, I have it all over my lid right now. You'll see it in the tutorial with a little bit of bronzer through the crease, but I also kind of put some of my other eyeshadows together. These are the 4 eyeshadows from MAC that I own that I think would absolutely be gorgeous with this kind of tarnished golden olive, which these are MAC's Tilt, which is a beautiful blue, and I'll just swatch that next to the gold for you. I think this blue and gold would be beautiful for summer, if you can see. This is MAC's Naked Lunch, which I just think is a nice highlight shade to go with this kind of quasi palette I've created. This is MAC Idolize, which I do have as my inner corner highlight today, and I think this is gorgeous to go with the blue and gold if you want to do more of an evening look with blue and gold. I think that would be a fantastic, fantastic look. And this shade is kind of a blue silver periwinkle with gold shimmer. And then the last shade as your deep color, if you wanted, I put Smut with it, which is kind of this gorgeous dark chocolatey brown. And I just think that these 5 colors in some combination would be beautiful as an evening eye look, or you could just do 1 or 2 as a daytime look. I know that's not really part of the review, but I like to know when I'm buying something different ways to wear it. One last time, those are the colors I've paired. This is the shade that's limited edition in the Extra Dimension eyeshadow. I'm really, really pleased with it, and I think it wears fairly well over a primer. I'll have more details after I've worn it for a few days. I'll post Dropbox a little bit more on the wear time, but for ease of blendability and for pigmentation, it is fantastic, and the packaging is gorgeous. If you could only get one thing, I would probably recommend an eyeshadow. There are a lot of different colors. I picked one that was a bit more wearable and suitable for my skin tone, and I knew I didn't have anything else like it in my collection. There are some other gorgeous shades. Fathoms Deep and Legendary Allure are stunning. And for the lipstick color, as I said, I originally wanted the shade Mystical, which is a cream sheen, more of a rose color, or Enchanted one, which was a matte shade and more of a peachy nude pink color. Different photos it showed up differently. They were sold out by the time I got there 15 minutes later, so I ended up with the shade Pet Me Please. This was a re-promote from the MAC Fabulous Feline collection. It is a frost lipstick. Not everyone's going to love this because of the consistency of the lipstick and the frost. I'm okay with it. Comes in the same packaging, absolutely gorgeous. The bullet is to die for. It's just the same metallic teal color with the raised water droplets. I love it. The shade is a very, obviously frosty, but it's kind of a shimmering champagne pink beige. Very pretty. It can be very retro if you wear it on its own. It reminds me of the 60s and the early 90s. Very pigmented, very smooth. It can be a, you know, when your lipstick can kind of stay to the outer edges because the inner corners of your mouth are a little bit more damp almost. That sounds really gross, but you know when that dry lipstick, it doesn't go on the inside. It does have that occasionally. It does wear fairly well. It's not uncomfortable on the lips. It's not moisturizing, but it's not super drying. It's just kind of there. It's not uncomfortable to wear. I barely notice it on my lips. I do like layering it over a balm, preferably, although it lasts really well on its own without a balm. I think the great thing about this shade is it's a fairly unique shade, and it's also a very versatile shade. You can wear it on top of a lip balm by itself. You can wear it just completely by itself. You can put it under a lip gloss. You can put it over another lipstick. If you leave it matte on its own, it's kind of retro. If you put a lip gloss over it like I did right here, it's more modern. I really like the fact that it's very, very versatile. It smells like the MAC lipstick's very creamy vanilla. It smells really good, actually. And I'm actually quite pleased with this lip color. It doesn't make my teeth look more yellow. That was attractive. It doesn't make my skin tone look totally washed out and corpse-like. It's a fairly attractive nude. Not everybody loves frost. To some people it's very dated. On my skin, I really like the way it looks. My other MAC lipstick is also a frost. It gives some dimension to my lips and makes them look a little bit fuller. I'm quite happy with this. I still kind of regret not getting any of the other lipsticks just because I like the colors better. But I think overall this is probably the most flattering shade of the line for my skin tone. And I also wanted to show, I went into my collection and I pulled out two other lipsticks that are very similar in finish because I was afraid they were too similar. They are not. This is the shade Frosted 272 by Rimmel, which is a golden pearl beige. This is much more pink tone. I'm going to go ahead and swatch it for you. So if you have this and are worried that it's too similar like I did, they are not similar at all. Very similar look. This is a bit creamier, but it doesn't last as well. It's obviously a lot cheaper. This is Frosted, this kind of golden beige. This is Pet Me Please, that more pink tone. And then I also have a NYX lipstick, again, much creamier than the Frost, does not last as well, obviously much cheaper. It's in the shade Chaos, but I'm not sure that's the correct lid for it, actually. It's kind of more of a silvery purple finish, and I'll swatch that. As you can tell, very, very similar finishes, different formulas, obviously different price points, and different colors. This is the Rimmel Frosted, this is the MAC Pet Me Please, and this is the NYX possibly Chaos. Don't know if that's the correct lid. When I purchased it, I don't think the correct lid was on it. Overall, I'm very, very happy with my purchases. I tend to weigh my decisions in makeup buying very, very carefully before I purchase anything. If you are like me, I do a lot of research before I buy anything, so I'm hoping that this review helped you give some new ideas on if you have dupes, or if you have anything similar, or how well it wears, and other ways to wear it. Because when I buy something, I don't want to be able to can't talk. When I buy something, I don't want to only be able to wear it in one way. I want to have a lot of ideas on how to wear it different ways so I can get my money's worth. I hope I gave you some ideas. If you would like, you can see how I got this makeup look using those products. My concealer and my powder just to save time. Start with my lip product first and then work my way to the other things. By doing it with your lips first, sometimes you can end up using a little bit less product and because your face is already halfway complete. It's an old trick. And I already have a tiny little bit of lip balm on because this is a frost and I don't want it to be super dry looking, so I'm going to apply that first. I'm going to go with lip gloss on top. Next I'm going to go in with my eyeshadow primer. My first eyeshadow, take this on a large fluffy brush, and I'm just going to take that all across my lid. So you're going to take Idolize, which is this beautiful shimmering periwinkle blue with gold shimmer as my inner corner highlight. I'm taking that on a Real Techniques accent brush. Idolize is luster, so it can be quite hard to work with, but in such a small area, you should be able to pack the color on pretty well. And come back to the rest of my eye. I'm going to take the Benefit They're Real mascara. And I'm going to take a dark chocolate brown eyeliner and run it along my upper lash line. And I'm going to use my Tarte Amazonian Clay bronzer on a fluffy crease brush. I'm going to use this to add some warmth to the crease and buff in a little definition. A little bit of a blue eyeliner pencil under my lower lash line. In a e.l.f. small stipple brush because that's what I have in my hand, and I'm just going to lightly warm up my face a little bit. I'd recommend using probably a little bit larger brush normally for a softer application, but this is the one I somehow ended up with, and yeah. So I'm starting up around my forehead. I'm not really trying to contour so much as add color to my face. I'm actually using this bronzer as my blush a little bit. I do that from time to time, especially when I'm trying to use fewer products. As you can tell, it kind of works, at least in my mind, and in the mirror it doesn't look as bad. Hopefully it looks okay on camera. Sorry if I'm not super peppy in this video. It's not even 9 o'clock yet, and I'm exhausted. I did nothing but lay sod. Well, I did other things, but I laid a lot of sod yesterday, and that's pretty tiring. It's a good exercise. And then I stayed up late watching Buffy the Vampire, which I have never seen before in my life. I was kind of young when it came out originally, and we didn't get that TV channel at the time, so I never saw it. But I love Firefly, and Joss Whedon is in charge of both Firefly and Buffy, so I thought I would give it a go, and yeah, I've been staying up super late watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Okay. I think you could probably just leave this here if you want to, but for the purposes of the video and for fun, I'm going to go in with a little bit of Benefit High Beam. I checked out, I have a small sample size of High Beam and a small sample size of What's Up, and I thought the color of High Beam looked better with the colors I was using than What's Up did. This has got a little more peachy champagne tone. What's Up's much more of a... lost my brush. What's Up's much more of a golden beige. I'm just going to use that same stippling brush and lightly buff in that highlight. I don't usually use highlighter, like ever, but I thought with this kind of glowing, sun-kissed, summery, bronzy sea look thing, it would add a nice little hint of dimension. that's the finished look, guys. I hope you enjoyed this makeup tutorial. If you did, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys soon. If you'd like to come hang out with me, all my social media links will be listed down below. Hope you all having a great day, and bye. I've lost my train of thought.